we are here with a very special guest. I am pleased to have here hip hop artist Lardy B.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I was just telling you, like, I live in Texas and Texas like shit on itself last week, but we're good now. Like, we're getting through it. So it's better now.
Glad to hear that everything's been going pretty well. What's the present life been for you during this COVID-19 pandemic?
Personally, I mean, yeah, it sucks because I really miss like performing live and stuff, but I've been doing a ton of writing and just in the studio. So it's been pretty good for me. Like a lot of growing, a lot of learning, and I am excited for it to die down, hopefully sometime soon, so we can get back on the road and do shows. But yeah, just a ton of writing and new music on the way. So I'm excited.
Recently, you released Thrust It, which is your Bust It parody.
So the last parody I did before that was WAP, and that one did extremely well. It's actually still like doing well. Thrust It, I just saw the challenge on TikTok and I don't know, it just came to me and I went to my producer and I was like, yo, we should do this one, but we got to do it quick because it's trending right now. You know, that's the thing with parodies is I feel like I get the best results when I do it quickly. You know, when it just comes out, when it's still trending. Like, I mean, it's normally like a 3-day, 4-day process to rewrite the music for the song, rewrite the lyrics, shoot the video, and release the video. But that one just, I don't know, that one just kind of came to me because I saw that it was a trend on TikTok. The thing about the videos is I really don't even plan them. I have like an idea in mind, but most of it's improv, like when we get down to it. But that's my favorite part about it. That's when you get the best scenes.
You've been singing since the age of 4. Your dad was also in a band, and clearly you had a passion for music since that time. What can you say about that experience, your enjoyment of music, also some of your inspirations in music as well?
Growing up, my dad was in a band for 20 years, and our garage was the practice space. He listened to a lot of his band was a rock band. So it was a lot of rock and things like that, but it was also, he listened to a lot of like smooth jazz and blues like around the house. So I picked up a lot of influence from there. And I used to be so scared. Like my parents always wanted me to sing for their friends, and I had the worst stage fright. And then later on in life, I got into a band, and that kind of, I think my stage fright kind of took away from that. But then I became Lardy B, and then it was like, now my stage fright's completely gone. Like, I feel like I'm a whole new person and I love it. Like, I feel so comfortable. But as far as influences, I think growing up, I took my own interest in Eminem. And I really like Eminem just because, I mean, he's one of the greatest rappers of all time. But also, he just was not scared to say anything that was on his mind. And he like incorporated that comedy in his music as well. So there was a lot of like serious points and there was a lot of like comedy. And I think that's where my career is going also. I took a lot of influence from Missy Elliott just because she did the singing and the rapping and she had that swag and her style was just like different. Still is. I mean, even her new music. And then also dabble a little probably in some Weird Al with the parody stuff. It was pretty cool. I mean, it's all over the place. I love all kinds of music and I draw inspiration from like all different kinds of artists. So it's all over the place, but I love it.
I must say, congratulations on all the success that you've been having.
Thank you.
You first started out your career as, yourself, Jenn Whitlock. I know that you released a pop soul EP back in 2016. Since you've been having a lot of success as Lardy B, can we expect any EPs, any albums as yourself as Jenn Whitlock?
I can't say. The future looks bright, but I can't give more details than that.
Lardi B, which was created back in 2018. You wrote your first parody, which was Bodak Jello.
Yeah.
7 million views from Facebook to YouTube and just worldwide. Then you released Thicky Thighday, which was gained over 1.7 million views. And then came They Like That I'm Fat, which reached 2.4 million views.
That one actually reached like combined on all the platforms, it was like over 100 million. It was crazy. It was crazy.
And that one was also recognized by Trina and Cardi B.
Yeah, I about died. I couldn't breathe when that happened. I couldn't breathe and got a Billboard article from that. Crazy. Yeah, it was awesome. It's really awesome. I'm very proud of that moment.
In regards to those top 3 videos at that time, which one has to have been your favorite? And let's talk about the creativity.
They Like That I'm Fat is my favorite. Even though that video is really simple, we did it really quickly, and there's a lot of graphics in there, like hidden things that people probably can't see unless you really watch it. There's one part that's pretty noticeable, but people don't ever notice it on the first time, where it says playing games Jumanji, and then there's a tiger that comes down. And then there's another part where I'm actually spitting out the whipped cream. If you go back and watch it, you'll see it. It says quitter down at the bottom, which I don't think anybody's ever even commented that. That means nobody's noticed it, but it's there, I promise. That one is probably my favorite. I mean, I'm proud of all of them. And I'm really proud of Bodak Jello because that was the first one that I did. I'm never satisfied, and I like want to top myself each time. Out of those 3, I think that They Like That I'm Fat was the best.
Knowing that you've been having a lot of success in your career, what are some of the early challenges or adversities that you had to overcome to get you to the place that you're at now? And knowing that you've been successful, what is something that you wish you would have known when you first started out in your career?
Definitely stage fright. Stage fright was something that was holding me back even before Lardy B. Like even when I did my like Jenn Whitlock EP, I had stage fright for the longest time. I just didn't believe in myself. You know, I always second guessed myself. I cared what people thought, which is night and day from how I am now. Becoming Lardy B and doing the parodies branched out a whole new side of me that actually helped me. You know, the fans are like, thank you for being so positive, you know, blah, blah, blah. Actually, the fans that like put that in me. I never did this parody to be like, oh, well, I'm going to promote body positivity and I'm going to do this and do that. It was more of like, this is going to be funny. I think this is going to be funny. It's going to be cool. It'll probably go off. I don't know. We'll see. People were looking at it in a whole different way than what I was thinking. And it was actually like helping them. And so now doing these parodies and stuff, it's like a whole new purpose. It's a whole different movement. And I'm just super proud of that and glad that it was like able to turn out that way. I guess, I mean, I never thought it would be easy. I never in my life thought it would be easy, but I wasn't in the music industry like that yet. And I wish I would have known or come to the realization that how much hard work actually goes into it whenever I first started. But that's just something as you learn as you go. I don't think anybody knows exactly how hard it is or how much work and time and dedication and sweat and blood and tears it takes. Once the bigger you get, the more you grow. I wish I would have just kind of like done more research and known that in the beginning to better prepare myself. But we're good now. Like I've learned and I'm still learning, and the only way is up.
What can you say has been the key to your success?
Positivity. Honestly, just that factor of not being afraid of what people think, because my style of music is obviously different than what a lot of people are doing. You just can't be afraid to like branch out and just do it, because you'll never know the outcome if you don't just do it. Positivity, confidence, believe in yourself, believe in your craft.
I know that you also played sports as well. You played softball.
Mm-hmm. I played softball all throughout school, and then I had a college scholarship to play softball. And I was in a lot of things. I was in gymnastics and cheer and volleyball and track.
What can you say about softball and that career?
I loved softball. Don't get me wrong. But softball growing up and through high school is like a completely different ball game than softball in college. Softball in college was hard. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I was in the best shape of my life. I'm not going to lie, it was a little bit like too overwhelming for me. It was hard for me to keep up in school. I was tired all the time. I loved the sport. I only lasted like a semester because I was just like, I hate to say it, but I gave up on that one. I hate to say it, but I did. I can't, I'm tired of this.
From headlining to 50,000 people at Milwaukee Pride to Lardy Land, where you tore down the stage and sold out and big event. What has been some of your memorable experiences?
Shit, you just named 2 of them. I would say the Billboard article, definitely. Milwaukee Pride Fest, that was that was insane. Like, and you know, and when I went out there and I toured and I did that show, I was sick as a dog. I was so sick. I couldn't keep anything down. But when I got on that stage, it was like, I was fine. It was crazy. Saw the adrenaline and I was just so happy to be there. And that crowd was amazing. And that was just awesome. And then, yeah, Lardy Land, because I built that from the ground up. I made sure that it was a memorable experience for everyone. So I had a bunch of, you know, artists open up. I had dancers, I had magicians, full grown horse actually that you could sit on that was dressed as a unicorn. I had people giving tattoos, people making grills. Like, I mean, you name it, it was there. And it was awesome. That was actually the last show, like the last festival in Dallas before COVID. And that was January 18th of last year. Oh my goodness. Anyways, I just can't wait for COVID to go away so I can have a Lardy Land 2.0.
In your career, you know, you've definitely had a passion for music for quite some time, even at an early age up until this point. When you hear the word passion, what does the word passion mean to you?
Passion is that overwhelming, tingly feeling inside of your body that won't let you give up. You're constantly thinking about it, dreaming about it when you sleep, when you talk, when you walk, when you're silent. I have this passion inside of me for music that I can't even explain. It's just like warm and fuzzy. And I feel like that's what it's a love. I just have this overwhelming love for music and creativity. And it's nonstop in my brain and in my soul. Like it never goes away. I dream about it. I wake up in the middle of the night and like write things down on my phone, or I find a piece of paper next to me or whatever. If I ever have ideas and like I act on them like that, like as soon as I can, so I don't forget them. But that's what I believe passion is. I think it's just that overwhelming, like fuzzy feeling of something that you love that you can't even think about giving up on.
If your career wasn't in your profession that you have right now, what do you think your career would have been?
I'm really good at planning like parties and festivals and stuff. An event coordinator. I think I'd be really good at that. And I could still do festivals and be in the music industry. Or I'd be a dog walker. Yep. Ran this dog walking company for like 7 years and I loved it.
So in your career, what are some of the future goals and what are some of the future projects that we should be looking out for?
Ooh, I got this new song coming out. It's an original. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you what it is, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I don't care. You heard it here first. It's called BUS. And it has this like pop, hip hop, but like New Orleans style, like brass jump to it. It's kind of like a bunch of things put into one, but it's really energetic and it's super fun. And I can't wait. I cannot wait to release that one. Future goals, I will be on SNL at some point. I'm putting that out into the universe. I'm passionate about that. I want to be on SNL and I really want to work with Post Malone. That's a big goal for me because I'm just like a huge fan of him and his creativity and his ability to dabble in any and every genre, because that's kind of how I am. And I'm also a songwriter. So I have so many songs that are just all different genres all across the board. Then I feel like that's, how Post Malone lives out his career too. So I think we could do something really cool together.
In your career, who are you mostly thankful for? And when people look back on your career, what would you want your legacy to be?
I want people to remember me for my positivity, for sure, because that's what I want to spread the most. I mean, obviously, I do it through music, but I also do it through because I'm a entertainer. I do a lot of like live streams and TikToks and a lot of social media and a lot of like fan interaction and things like that. Cause I like to get to know people. Like I love to just talk to the fans. Like, I'm a normal person and I want them to know that. So I want them to remember me for definitely spreading like love and positivity. My parents, my mom and my dad, for pushing me into music, because it wasn't always something that I wanted to do because I was afraid. I was scared, and they just kept telling me like, you've got talent, you've got it, you just keep trying, and then eventually I fell in love with it on my own. Radio Raheem, which is the owner of Never Satisfied, the label. Within the last year, he's helped me so much on my career and taught me so many things I can't even explain. Like, I don't even know where I'd be like without him. Definitely my two producers, Dialogue, Cut Down Trees, and my tour DJ, Papa Ace. For sure. I've got a squad. I could go on for days. I've got a whole clique, a whole circle. Like, they're all amazing. And I'm just so thankful for all of them. But if I sat there and tried to name all of them, it would take a long time. So there's just a few.
And I got to ask you this question. I know you've probably been asked this question a lot, but the name Lardy B, it's definitely catchy for sure. But I'm sure you probably had a list of names. I'm sure you probably had a few names that you were probably picking and choosing from. But the name Lardy B.
How Lardy B even came to happen was I was doing a show, an acoustic show with a friend. And one of my other friends came up to me and he was like, you know that song Bodak Jello? It'd been out for maybe 4 months, but it was still like top of the charts because Cardi B was new and fresh and everybody was losing their mind over that song. And he was like, what if you like talked about food and did all this and da-da-da? And I was like, I'm down. And since it was Cardi B, we thought of Lardy B, and that was literally the first name, and we just stuck with it. We ended up writing it like the next day and then planning a music video and then dropping it. So that actually happened like really quickly, and there wasn't any other options. It was just Lardy B, Bodak Jello, let's go. And it stuck.
And we are here with a very special guest. I am pleased to have here with me hip hop artist Lardy B, who's been doing lots of great things in her career. I appreciate you and wish you all the best.
Of course. Thank you so much.